Welcome. There's a game about facing nightmares, of ghosts of those you lost, of the darkness within, of voices that sound like yours and are both enemy and ally. This is the saga of the game named Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. A game that plays like a movie needs a good story, and with the hero facing a unique challenge, this game has a great story. It's a story that Senua is telling me. Yes, Senua knows I'm here. In fact, she's counting on whoever is on this side to guide her, but also to listen. Because Senua left her home on a mission, but the voices that are guiding her are also overwhelming her, and she needs me to do this. As she reaches the shore, I have to help her deny the voices telling her to run, but I also find out that something dark has been following her ever since she left. Senua came here to the land of the Norsemen so she could bring him back. Her love, Dylan. He died. But for some reason, Senua brought his head as a token, and she is sure one of the Norse gods can bring him back. The voices warn though, this land is treacherous, filled with magic, so one more voice joins her, of a friend who knew of the Norsemen, someone to place things in perspective. Quite literally, that's the gimmick for the puzzles. A set of runes show up, and I match them to the shapes that show around me. Now, this magic isn't the real danger though. The gods of this land are brutal, and don't take Senua's invasion lightly. As she tries to make her way, she becomes cursed, attracting creatures from the shadows to take her down. But Senua is fierce and fueled by revenge, so she is ready to swing around some nicely animated sword combos. Yet, the shadows keep rising and she can only hold them off for so long. As she falls on the ground, easy prey for the curse running in her veins, Senua meets a terrible fate. No, not death. The curse is much worse than that. As Senua stands over her own body, she finally gets it. The curse will kill who she is, little by little, until she is no more. The game even shows a message assuring repeated failure leads to permanent defeat. However, that is all an illusion. Senua's enemy is herself. The game wants the player to believe what Senua believes is going to happen. And to Senua, well, it's all very real. So she sets her mind to challenge the guardians holding the keys to the gate to the underworld. First up, a master of illusion, so of course the path is filled with fake walls and missing bridges that need to be uncovered. Again, the solution is perspective. I'll either have to look through a totem or find the right angle to align the pieces of a symbol. Between puzzles, Senua is attacked by the trickster's illusions, but also needs to fight off some of his minions. After a couple of those cycles, I finally reach the gate before the boss. Oh, but before that, this game has an important side quest, collecting stones with Norseman lore. And no, I won't say why it's important, it's secret. So, let's focus back on the raven-looking creature sitting on his throne of branches, who turns out to be a lot smarter than he looks. Knowing Senua will be distracted by the rinse and repeat of undoing his illusions, the trickster is actually trying one last puzzle to catch her defenseless. And it works. While making my way to the nest to match the hanging shapes with the gate's sigil, Senua's attention is on the task but not on who's stalking her. Before she can react, she gets knocked down from the tree and passes out. She wakes up to the voice of her old friend calling her to pick up his mirror and aim it back at the monster, which turns the battle in her favor. Fighting a creature made of illusions can't be easy, so this could have been a really good boss fight. But instead, this bird brain starts calling out minions like a coward. Regardless, he still has one or two fast moves that I have to watch out for. But again, the mirror does give a juicy advantage as it slows down time and allows Senua to deliver a bunch of attacks without retaliation. The Raven is defeated and Senua rushes in for the kill, kicking and slashing and then stabbing his heart, which leads to all of the illusions finally falling apart. This also means that the first sigil of the gate to the underworld is now broken, getting Senua closer to her goal of bringing Dylan back from the dead. On my way back to the other guardian, there's a rock that looks familiar. Yes, I know how that sounded. Turns out it's Senua's mother manifesting in nature. Yes, I know how that sounds too. It's all the more proof that our hero is fighting demons a lot more real than the ones she thinks she's fighting. Like these beefed up tanks that show up after killing one of the guardians. They hit harder and take more hits, but having learned how to slow down time definitely helps. Walking up to the other trial, a warning manifests in Senua's mind. This is the realm of the Fire Giant King, and he will burn her as he does with all things. On the way up, Mother Dearest makes a return, hinting she too may have suffered from the same condition as Senua. Then more Shadow Warriors start to gang up on the fierce protagonist, but without success. And lastly, another locked gate, showing me more runes that I have to chase for the matching shapes in the surrounding area to finally unlock the way forward. At least there's no more psychic attacks like last time. Open the gate, walk on the Shadow of Corpses, and there it is, the Giant's Burning Throne. But before I get there, I have to get through a massive wave of bad guys, and I'm defeated for the first time in the game. It's easy to happen because it's easy to turn lazy regarding combat. The counter blocks and the focus time lower the bar, so I did too. But even after that, the way is still blocked by a gate that, instead of being hidden by illusions, needs a taste of the Giant's favorite thing ever, flames. Touching the Giant's sigil, everything starts burning, and Senua needs to run to the gate to avoid turning into a barbecue special. In the middle of the chaos, the ghost of her friend shows up to remind her of his suffering under the Norsemen. And just like the interactions Senua has with her mother's spirit, these interactions with her friend give insight on the horrible traumas that feed what Senua is facing now. The fact she is making her way to a Norseman mythical fire giant is a product of the tale she was told by this same friend, who was revealed to be the only solace she had when exiled because of her condition. Hearing that friend's voice on the lore stones is proof of it, and as I do these things, it's actually sad for me as someone playing the game, because I now know none of this is magic. This isn't a fantasy game, because the only fantasy lies in Senua's mind. But how else could Senua explain these things? The only answer she has is magic, so that's what I see. And again, the mind says the pain is real, so when the fire touches her, real or not, she is scorched by it. And when she falls to her knees dying, holding the reminder of her mission, she's again taken by darkness. There, she is faced with a promise to return to the men she loved after her self-imposed exile. And it's that promise that brings her back for the fight of the century, the flame of revenge against the flame of destruction. Honestly, it's an amazing boss fight, even when compared to other action games. The Fire King is tough, and the arena is beautiful. But once again, the focus power makes it a fair fight for us. Just maybe too fair. In the end, Senua slices the giant up and then drops her sword straight through his burning chest, dousing the flames around her and taking down the second sigil on the gate to the realm of the dead. Time to strike a bargain with whatever god runs that place. Or so would Senua think. Up to this moment, Senua mentions the darkness as something chasing her. But after it catches up, it becomes clear to me that her paranoia shaped all her fears into a creature that wants her to give in to despair. It tries visions of her finding her village destroyed by the Norsemen, but that doesn't work, so instead, it goes for a low blow. When she came back from her exile, Senua saw the Norsemen had burnt her village, but also chose someone to sacrifice to their gods. To find someone you love killed in such a cruel way would break anyone's mind. What would it do to someone with a mind already broken? It's during that revelation that I finally realize I'm not playing this game to help a hero complete some noble quest. No matter how well I play this game, Dylan will stay dead, and Senua is still stuck on a nightmare built out of her guilt and fueled by the stories of the Norsemen. All that is left is rage. She still believes she can save him, that fighting everything the darkness sends her way is the only way to bring back the one good thing that she had left. But as Senua keeps going against monsters she believes are real, the game's challenge keeps growing. New and tougher enemies show up as if to represent how hard she's trying to avoid the truth. Thankfully, combat is one of the many things this game did right, with smooth animations and some enemies that require more than mindless slashing. Then there's the puzzles, of course, but after a while they're all the same. Don't get me wrong, they're solid. Except hunting for matching shapes gets boring after a while. You start wishing you could just get a key from an enemy. In the end, it's not the combat or the puzzles that matter. It's that you were listening to Senua and her story. And what an absolute banger of a story it is, with amazing acting and top-shelf visual candy. It's why it earned several awards, and why it's now bound for a sequel, so we can witness Senua's saga against the darkness unfold once again. Thank you for joining me on the saga of Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Can I get a thumbs up for people fighting their demons? If you played Hellblade, what's your favorite moment? If you didn't, why not? Comments below, get to it. Maybe this one was a little too sad for you. Well, I got you covered, go try my other videos. But I really hope you liked watching this saga. If you did and think I should do more, hit that subscribe button. I'll get to it. Need a smile after this one? Go check my stuff on social media. time to fight the shadows. See ya.